Let's get started. Welcome everyone. Hope you're all well and safe and that you're ready for this new journey through one of Italy's regions. So today we're going to explore the Veneto region, and I'm sure you're all very familiar with Venice and possibly with Verona and Lake Garda, but in Veneto there are many more beautiful towns, lovely villages and lots of things to do. Our special guest today will be Angelica Semenzato, which is owner and director of sales of Hotel Palazzo Giovannelli, which is situated right on Venice Grand Canal. We will connect live with Angelica later, and she will show us around her wonderful property, so you can have a glimpse into Venice today. As usual, we are going to explore the Veneto region through our 5 W's: the why, where, what, when, and who is it for. So let's get started. Why Veneto? Well, Veneto is a wonderful region in northern Italy, which is perfect to spend a short break or a longer vacation by yourself or with your loved ones. Whether you love art and culture, or if you're looking to experience nature at its best, the region offers countless options to relax, sightsee, and feel refreshed. In Veneto, everything is literally on your doorstep: sea, lakes, mountains, rivers, larger cities, walled towns, and medieval villages. It doesn't matter if you like spending your holiday hiking and being active, or if you prefer the peace and quiet of archaeological museums and art galleries. The best thing about the Veneto region is that the size of a town does not define the amount of history and the number of sites you're going to find in it. So no matter how small a place is or how off the beaten path it is, you are bound to discover a very rich collection of art and artifacts and wonderful things to explore. But where is Veneto? So Veneto is in the northeast of the country and has 7 provinces: Belluno, Vicenza, Verona, Treviso, Venice, Padua, and Rovigo. The region is very well connected to the rest of Italy and to Europe as well by a well-developed network of high-speed and fast regional trains. For example, you can reach Venice from Rome in just under 4 hours, and Verona from Milan in just over an hour. Long-distance trains from Venice Santa Lucia reach destinations like Paris, Vienna, Munich, and Geneva, as well as the luxury train of the Orient Express line. While from Verona Porta Nuova, which is the second train station, main train station of the region, long-distance trains reach Innsbruck, Munich again, and also the Nice to Moscow train. There's also a large number of convenient airports served by both long-haul and low-cost airlines, with the most popular and used ones being Venice, Verona, Treviso, Bergamo, but also Bologna is not that far away. And also, the small cities and towns are served by high-speed or regional train, which offer quick, regular connections at affordable prices. However, traveling by car is always easy and convenient, and is definitely the ideal choice if you plan to move around often. So it's up to you to decide. But what to do in Veneto, where culture lovers will want to attend the famous outdoor opera season in Verona's arena, and will be spoiled for choice with the region's collection of art galleries and fine architecture. Wine lovers will find several good local wines, including the sparkling Prosecco, which can be sampled in vineyards along the so-called Ring of Prosecco. The Dolomites, instead, offer resorts for winter skiing, but are also a very popular destination for summer activities like mountaineering, walking, or cycling. Fans of water sport will head for the Adriatic or for Lake Garda, while more sedate boating experience can be enjoyed on the Venetian Lagoon, gliding up the Brenta Canal towards Padua, or crisscrossing Lake Garda. Swimming and sunbathing are best enjoyed along the Adriatic, where popular resorts include Lido di Jesolo, and obviously Venice Lido. Even more relaxing are the inland spa resorts, which are famous for their thermal springs. And if you're keen on wildlife and bird watching, the Venetian Lagoon, the Po Delta, and the region's mountainous areas offer rich habitats with plenty to study. There are also several national parks and wildlife reserves which can be visited. So, as you can see, there is literally something for everyone. Okay, a place that doesn't need an introduction is definitely Venice. I'm sure you're all very familiar with it, so I'm not going to talk too much about Venice because we are planning something different for the main cities of Italy, like Venice, Florence, and Rome. So there will be some surprises later in the year. But Venice was once the head of a former superpower that lorded it over the Mediterranean for centuries, and nowadays it is the capital of Veneto. The city of water, which is so called, attracts millions of visitors each year that arrive in search of precious art, stunning architecture, and a romantic and unique experience. If you're visiting the Veneto region for the first time, you obviously cannot miss a visit to Venice. This is a place that needs to be seen at least once in a lifetime. Well, as I said, I'm not going to talk further about Venice, but later Angelica will show us a little bit of live Venice from her hotel. My advice when visiting Venice is to put aside a minimum of 2 days to explore the sides of Venice that interest you the most. Its museums, churches, labyrinthine streets, or the tons of histories. And if you have time, you can also venture to the Lido, a thin and long sandbar less than 20 minutes away by Vaporetto from St. Mark's Square. The Lido, in Italian Lido, is where you need to go if you want beaches while in Venice. And this is also where the Venice Film Festival takes place in September every year. Lastly, you can actually drive on Lido, which is something that you can absolutely not do in Venice. If you're staying in Venice a little longer, you should definitely pay a visit to some of the little island of the Venetian lagoon. Start with Burano, which is famous for its lace-making traditions, fishing heritage, and colorful houses, which, according to the legend, were painted in bright tones so that the fishermen could spot their home from afar on foggy days. And this is what you can see in the picture. This one is Burano. Next stop is Murano, where the art of modern glassmaking took shape several centuries ago. Many glassmaking artists and studios operate on the land. And here you can see glassmaking demonstration, shop for unique pieces of glass, and admire the stunning Murano glass chandeliers. And last but not least is Torcello, the island where it all began for Venice. In fact, Torcello is just off the coast of Burano and is nowadays very sparsely populated. But in pre-medieval times, Torcello was an important political and trading center with thousands of inhabitants. Later on, due to changes in the ecology of the lagoon, most of the population of Torcello moved to the nearby island of Burano and Murano, and also to Venice itself. Today, here you can see a few churches and historic buildings. You can see the so-called Devil's Bridge, which has no railing and several dark legends associated with it. But most of all, the most beautiful thing to see is the Byzantine mosaics preserved in the Basilica of Santa Maria Assunta, which is also known as just the Torcello Cathedral. Next on my itinerary is Padua, the city that sparked the Renaissance with the master painter Giotto, that covered in exquisite frescoes the Scrovegni Chapel, which is probably one of the most famous sites to visit in Padua. Giotto's absolute skill in depicting human emotions leaves you absolutely and deeply touched when you look at his painting, at his frescoes. However, Padua offers so much more than a visit to the Scrovegni Chapel. In fact, it is a lively university town with thousands of landmarks and a delicious food scene. Not to be missed is the Basilica of Sant'Anthony of Padua, Sant'Antonio da Padova in Italian. Well, Sant'Antonio is highly venerated in Padua to the point where he is known simply as Il Santo, the saint, in the city. Well, the basilica where the relics of the saint are held is a stunning work of art and devotion. Worth a visit is also the Botanical Garden of Padua University, where history and vegetation intermingle to create a lovely place where you can spend all day happily exploring the many uses people have found for the plants. Together with Venice and Padua, Verona is not to be missed on a trip to Veneto and is one of the largest cities. It is known worldwide as the city of Romeo and Juliet. However, the city has many more surprises up its sleeves. In fact, it has Roman ruins, majestic churches, an excellent Christmas market, large gardens, and the world's most spectacular opera festival. So Verona has absolutely a lot to give to travelers which are looking to experience history and beauty at the same time. Verona has a very, very nice medieval center with lovely restaurants and shopping areas. So for example, Piazza delle Erbe and Piazza Bra are great places to sit at a cafe and just enjoy people watching, take an aperitivo, and then just wait time for your opera to start. Moving on to smaller towns, we found Vicenza, which is known as the city of gold and Palladio. Vicenza is where you will find great architecture and some of the finest jewelry shops in Italy. Built on Roman foundations, the city truly prospered during the Renaissance. Nowadays, Vicenza is a great day trip during which to discover several lovely museums, lots of Palladian architecture, and a must-have piece of jewelry or two. You can visit the Church of St. Mary on Monte Berico, which is a basilica dedicated to the devotion of the Virgin Mary. It's built on the site where the Virgin appeared twice in order to save Vicenza from a devastating bout of the plague. And the church, in fact, attracts thousands of visitors each year. If you love Renaissance villa, you can visit La Villa Capra la Rotonda, which is Palladio's most famous villa. Its architectural design has inspired several other buildings all over the world. You will find it on the outskirts of Vicenza, so it's very, very easy and convenient to explore. Combine it with a visit to the nearby Villa Valmarana Ainani, which has frescoes by father and son Tiepolo, a splendid garden, and also a great cafe overlooking Monte Berico. And just outside Vicenza is Lake of Femon, which happens to be the oldest lake in northern Italy. In fact, at 35,000 years of age, it precedes the formation of Lake Garda. And we are now moving on to Treviso, which is mostly known for the convenience of its low-cost airport, mainly from people coming from Europe. But Treviso is absolutely so much more than that. The city-cobbled historical center is lined with historical palaces. Art galleries offer a never-ending series of exhibitions and art events. Add to this a very lively carnival and many other happenings, from music concert to hot air balloon festivals. Plus, Treviso is where the worldwide famous dessert tiramisu and sparkling wine prosecco were born. So if you are food and wine lovers, you definitely have to stop by Treviso. You can easily spend a few hours just wandering around the city center and the arcade streets around Piazza dei Signori. And plus, if you're looking for a sustainable alternative to Venice, well, Treviso does have a very pleasant river and attractive canals, a sort of mini Venice in a way, and it's nice to do the comparison of both. The town is also great for cyclists. In fact, you can cycle along the Treviso-Ostiglia cycle path that runs parallel to the old railway line. It is 118 kilometers long, and the trail crosses all the region till the province of Mantua. Known as the Gathaway of the Dolomites, Belluno is a very pretty town with historical churches and buildings that stand out against a backdrop of majestic craggy peaks, as you can see in this photo. From Belluno, you can easily reach all types of ski resorts, hiking paths, mountainous lakes, and medieval villages. This includes Pieve di Cadore, which is a small town where the renowned painter Titian was born, Tiziano. And if you love nature and are after incredible sceneries, you should visit the province lakes like Lago di Misurina, which is the one in the photo, Lago del Mis, and Lago del Sorapis. Located on the shore of the crystal clear river Brenta is the picturesque town of Bassano del Grappa, which was founded many centuries ago in pre-Roman times. Today, Bassano stands out with its medieval and Venetian architecture, which is an absolute great mix. There is a castle which is used for opera performances every summer, fortified city walls, lovely cobbled piazza, and many old buildings with faded frescoes on the walls. Bassano is famous for the production of the grappa. In fact, it's called Bassano del Grappa. Grappa is a potent alcoholic liquor with the most, a drink made of grapes. The original version is plain, but nowadays you can find many fruit versions of these very strong liquor, with the most popular being the berries one. And if you stop by one of those lovely boutiques in any of the mountain resorts, you can find these beautiful bottles of grappa in any flavor. I think there's also chocolate flavor or something like that. So, you know, there's something for everyone, literally. In Bassano del Grappa, there is also a very well-developed local ceramic industry with plenty of beautiful pieces that you can buy in the local shops. And now let's move to Castelfranco Veneto, which is a gorgeous town with an almost intact defensive wall, pretty historic center, and a host of festivals and events, including a chocolate fair. The town is also the birthplace of Giorgione, which is one of the most renowned Italian painters. While in town, you should visit Villa Parco Bolasco, which is a lovely 19th century garden that was chosen as Italy's most beautiful park in 2018. You will find it just outside the historical center, and free guided visits are available and organized seasonally. And next is the town of Marostica, which is a very pretty town, famous for its medieval defensive wall, which climbs up to the top of a steep hill, for its two castles, one of which is beautifully preserved and flanking the town's main square, and is the one that you see. But Marostica is mainly known because every other September, it holds a huge spectacle, which is a live chess game with people and horses instead of chess pieces. And while you're visiting, this is if you visit in September, but if you visit in June, you will be stunned by the absolutely huge and juicy cherries that grow all around the town. So summer in Marostica is absolutely beautiful. And next to Marostica, not far from Marostica and considered like an undiscovered Venice, is the town of Chioggia, which is actually older than Venice itself. It's spread over several islets on the southern tip of the Venetian lagoon, and it is connected to the mainland by means of a causeway. A wide pedestrian street lined with cafes, restaurants, and shops run down the center of the town to the port. And the town also has a very, very nice, oh, can you hear me now? Oh, sorry. Oh, great. Perfect. So I was saying there is also a beautiful and absolutely stunning seafood market. Plus, 2 kilometers from the town centers, there are some very nice beaches. So you can combine the two. But with natural springs of hot mineral water scattered throughout the region, it's a little surprise that walled spa towns and large spa resorts using both mineral water and sea waters have been built all over this northern Italian region. The most famous are Abano Terme, which is a town completely dedicated to the culture of spa, with hundreds of hotels and spa facilities offering all sorts of treatment and access to thermal swimming pools. Next to Abano Terme is Recoaro Terme, that has attracted visitors for centuries to take the waters in search of cures for body, soul, and mind. Surrounded by beautiful mountains, Recoaro is a pleasure to visit. A nearby spot which will delight the hikers is the Montagna Spaccata, literally cracked mountain, which has a series of waterfalls enclosed in a rugged gorge. And last is Monte Grotto Terme, which is located right next to Abano Terme. In fact, they share a train station. This town is completely dedicated to the curative property of local thermal springs too. But not to be missed is also a visit to the Butterfly Ark and the Forest of the Fairies. This is the oldest butterfly house in Italy, where you can find hundreds of gorgeous specimens from Africa, Asia, and the Amazon, fluttering freely among native flowers and bushes in bloom. Once you have walked through the marquees that house the butterflies, you will find yourself in a lovely park of 6,000 square meters, which is called Bosco delle Fate, literally Forest of the Fairies. Here you can follow its winding path with all sorts of weird and wonderful creatures, including white witches, fairies, and trolls. It is absolutely a great place if you have families with children, because it will definitely fire up their imagination. The Veneto region has hundreds of islands just waiting to be discovered. Obviously, the most well-known example is Venice, which is built on 118 islands, connected with over 400 bridges and separated by around 117 canals. But there are two lovely islands located in the delta of the River Po that are worth mentioning. And these are Isola Albarella, Isola Donzella, and Isola di Ariano. And here you can find modern resorts with golf courses and stunning natural sight. And it is on the drive to Isola Albarella that flocks of pink flamingos can also be seen in the wild, which is an absolutely beautiful scenery. Well, if you like drinking Prosecco, you may be surprised to find out that not only Prosecco is produced in Veneto, in the so-called Prosecco country, but you can easily visit the place where the magic happens, which is the area between the towns of Conegliano and Valdobbiadene. This is where the grapes used in every bottle of Prosecco ripe under the hot Italian sun, and where every liter of proper original Prosecco is actually produced. You can easily reach Conegliano by train from Venice and Padua. However, the exploration of the vineyards and the winery is best done by car. There are also the area also offers some stunning hiking opportunities, and it is dotted with medieval castles, lovely rivers and small lakes, old abbeys and churches with precious work of art, and even an old mill next to a picturesque waterfall. And even if I have dedicated a webinar to the Italian Dolomites, I cannot avoid mentioning the mountains. In fact, Veneto has some of Europe's most impressive mountains and hilly areas. If you add to the province of Belluno, you can have a taste of the Dolomites, as we have seen, with their craggy peaks, winter resorts, and beautiful valleys. The Asiago Plateau offers quick access to mountainous landscape from the plains below, and it is also famous for the local cheese called Asiago, and for a type of delicious smoked and aged ham, which is called speck. And talking about food, Veneto has its own cuisine, which has taken centuries to develop and fine-tune. For example, pizza is not traditionally Venetian, and I mean, it's not from the area. Obviously, you will find many pizzerias with wood fire ovens all over the region. But while you are there, it's better to experiment typically Venetian dishes and desserts. And so these, I'm going to list you just a few of the traditional recipes of the regions that I personally really like. So the first one is the bigoli, which are thick spaghetti usually served with duck sauce or sardines. The bacala alla vicentina, which is the one on the left of the photo, which is a dish prepared with desiccated cod and served with polenta. Risi and bisi, which is a creamy dish of rice and peas, which used to be served to the Doge of Venice on the 25th of April, which is San Mark Day every year. And then the cicchetti. Well, cicchetti are the Venetians' bite-sized snack that you usually savor with a small glass of wine. And these are absolutely popular in Venice, where you can enjoy food tour based on the cicchetti experience, and it's absolutely amazing. And then for dessert, you can tuck into a tiramisu, as I said, or in the torta fregolotta, which is the one on the right in the picture, which is made with flour, almond meal, sugar, and cream. And then obviously at Christmas, you can indulge in a large slice of pandoro, which is the Verona invented Christmas dessert, which battles with Milan's panettone at every festive season. And in fact, in Italy, I have to say that many families will have their favorites. You know, for example, in my family, we love pandoro and we prefer it against panettone. But, you know, everyone has his own taste. And last but not least, the wine. So the Veneto region is a land of prized wine. Wine experts will absolutely appreciate the Amarone della Valpolicella, which is an Italian DOCG denomination, dry red wine produced exclusively in the Valpolicella area, in the province of Verona. And then the Soave Superiore, which is a DOCG white wine of the Verona area. The Prosecco di Valdobbiadene, as we just said, which is a DOCG white wine produced on the hills of Treviso, or the Bardolino Superiore, which is a red wine typical of Lake Garda. But there are not just wines. So for example, in the late afternoon or early evening, you can order a classic Venetian spritz, which is a refreshing Prosecco-based drink served with potato crisp and other finger foods, which has, I mean, is one of those aperitifs that has become super popular worldwide, but you know, you will find some pretty incredible versions in Italy. And wine lovers can go discovering one of the many wine routes. There are 16 all over the region, from Valpolicella to the Euganian Hills, from the Prosecco Hills to the Piave or Bardolino wine routes. So there's something for everyone, and it's absolutely a paradise for wine lovers. But now it's time to pass the scene to Angelica. So Angelica, I'm gonna start your video. If you can unmute you. Oh, and you can also, yeah, so the video is on. If you can unmute you.
Here I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I cannot see you, but that's because I need to stop sharing the screen. Just 1 second. Okay, perfect. And now I'm gonna spotlight your video. Okay, so now we can see you.
Thank you very much, Chiara, and thank you for this great opportunity to meet all of you travel agents. My name is Angelica. I'm the owner and director of sales of Palazzo Giovannelli and Gran Canale in Venice. Now we are in the small garden of Palazzo Giovannelli. We are walking to the main walking entrance of the hotel. Palazzo Giovannelli is an ancient building of 16th century, transformed in an elegant 4-star superior hotel. Palazzo Giovannelli is very, very rich in art and history. For example, this is an ancient well of 16th century from which the families collect the drinking water.
That's beautiful.
Here we are, and we are going to say hello to our general manager, Mr. Michele Citton.
Hi, welcome to everybody. So I'm not from the 16th century. Okay. And so I hope you enjoyed the tour and looking forward to show you the hotel personally. We are looking for a new age. So enjoy.
Thank you. And now we are walking through the lobby and we are reaching the private dock on the Grand Canal. Your guests can reach the hotel directly from Venice Airport in just 50 minutes from Marco Polo Venice Airport. Here we are on the Grand Canal.
So it's cloudy in Venice too today?
Not so much.
Yeah.
Not so much. Here on our left side, you can see the Vaporetto stop in front of San Stai Church. Just 2-minute walking to our hotel. And on the other side, on the right side, just after the curve, there is a Rialto Bridge. From Palazzo Giovannelli, you can easily reach Rialto Bridge in just 5 minutes by walking. Here we are in Santa Croce district, a very quiet area where Venetian people live, outside of the most crowded paths, but from which you can easily reach all major touristic points. Here we are. This is the main stair that links the ground floor to the noble floor. Palazzo Giovannelli has 41 rooms, different kind of rooms. And now I will show you some of them. Here we are on the mezzanine floor. Enjoy the view on San Stai Church and the Grand Canal. Now we are going from the mezzanine floor to the noble floor. Enjoy this Venetian chandelier.
From Murano, I guess?
Yeah, composed of 7,000 pieces of Murano glass. Here on the noble floor, you can well understand and touch the richness of the families that over the years, over the centuries, own Palazzo Giovannelli. On the walls, you can see these ovals with monochrome paintings representing female figures as the arts and the sciences. And now let's start with the visit of the room. At first, I want to show you room 211. This is our presidential suite Mozart. This room is a tribute to the great composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, because it's historically proven that when Mozart was just 15 years old, played at Palazzo Giovannelli when he was hosted by the Count Giovannelli with his family. Okay, this is the lounge of the room. It's 50 square meters large with this amazing Venetian chandelier. Huge carved doors of 16th century, and on the walls, the same ovals of the noble floor. I want to show you the view from the French balcony. Here we are. This is the view on the Grand Canal.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And even if the Grand Canal in peak season could be very, very crowded with private and public boats, all our rooms are very, very quiet because our windows are soundproof. And now we are entering the bedroom. Here we are with the canopy bed. and 3 high French balcony overlooking the canal. I want to show you one more.
Nope. We lost your video, Angelica.
Hello?
Yeah, we lost your video. Try and reconnect
Just
the
a
video.
moment.
Okay. Now you need to unmute you because you're on mute. We can see, but we, okay.
Can you see me?
Yes, we can see and hear.
I can't see you, but just a moment. Let me check what happened. Your video is stopped.
No, we can see you and we can hear you.
Okay, I can see what I'm showing you. That's my problem. Just a moment, please.
Let's see if Angelica. Okay, perfect. We are in the living room again, looking at the beautiful chandelier. But we can't hear you, Angelica. So if you can just unmute you. Angelica, we can't hear you. Okay, now we can.
Yes, but I don't see what I'm showing you. That's my problem.
It's okay. We're going through the living room now.
Okay, help me with the guide because I can't see what I'm showing you. Just a moment, I forgot the key. Okay, here I am. Now I'm going to see the other suite, the Foscarini suite. In the 18th century, this room was the 4th last Venice Doge Marco Foscarini private apartment. Okay.
Yeah.
At first, I want to show you the secret passage.
Oh, nice.
Now, this is a corridor that links the entrance of the room to the bedroom. In the 18th century, the secret passage linked the Doge's apartment with the secret room.
Okay.
Here we are. With the fireplace and original stuccos and paintings, Venetian chandeliers, and I want to show you the bedroom with canopy bed. Is it good view because I can see what I'm showing you?
Yes, it is.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, and here we have 2 French balconies overlooking the Grand Canal. Here we are. This is the view from the Foscarini suite.
It's quite kind of weird to see the Grand Canal so empty.
Yeah, it's very, very sad, Chiara.
Yeah.
But now we are waiting for 2021. I'm sure
absolutely
it will be much, much better. Okay?
Yes.
This is the secret passage with
all these stuccos are beautiful.
Yeah. And please, all our paintings are made exclusively for Palazzo Giovannelli by an Italian artist from Milan. All our paintings reproduce Venice landscapes or Venetian lifestyles and are made just for Palazzo Giovannelli. Now we continue the visit to our entry-level room, the superior room. Here we are. This is room 208. This is the superior room. All our rooms have wooden floor or terrazzo alla veneziana, that is a particular floor of the ancient building in Venice.
That's beautiful.
And all our welcome amenities, welcome drink, biscuits, and coffee machine.
They all face the Grand Canal.
No, we have 41 rooms. We have the 2 suites, Foscarini and Mozart suite, and 3 junior suites overlooking the canal.
Okay.
But all our rooms, even if they don't face directly the Grand Canal, have a good views.
Okay.
Now I'm going to show you a nice junior suite with a nice French balcony overlooking the garden.
Okay, beautiful.
Look at the beams. Do you see the beams? Hand-painted beams?
They're all frescoed.
Correct. We are still on the noble floor. And now we are entering the room 206. This is a junior suite overlooking the garden. Just a moment, please. Here we are. Okay, we still are on the noble floor. So on the walls, same ovals with monochrome paintings, Venetian chandelier. Can you see it?
Yes, it's beautiful.
Okay. This is the bedroom with canopy bed and a very nice French balcony overlooking the garden and the main entrance.
Okay, perfect.
All our bathrooms are in marble, in Italian marble, most of them with the bathtub and shower separated. In the junior suite and suite, we offer to our guests amenities by Hermes with the original perfume. Otherwise, there is Itro.
Okay.
Itro amenities. And now, if you have some more time available,
yes,
I want to show you the connecting rooms, the family rooms.
Okay.
We have 3 couple of connecting rooms in 3 different floors. Sorry, this is the wrong floor. I'm sorry. If you have some question in the meantime.
Yes, if there's any question that you want to put in the chat so that I can read it to Angelica. No question.
And now,
Angelica.
No question. We are reaching the 4th floor. We have obviously we have the elevator from the ground floor to the 4th floor. This is the view.
You're doing some exercise today for us, taking the stairs.
Yeah. And here we are, just for a short visit to the connecting rooms.
This is
the charm of the hotel is the perfect balance between the historic building with many pieces of art inside and contemporary furniture.
So this is the top floor, Angelica.
Sorry?
Is the top floor, so the last floor.
Yes, yes, it is. Okay, and here we have superior room connected to the deluxe room.
Okay.
Here we are. This is the bath. Just a moment. Okay. This is the room with a nice view on Capesaro Museum.
Angelica, there is a question from Anne, sorry. Anne is asking if the room rate include breakfast and what kind of breakfast?
Usually, allora, all our rates include American buffet breakfast.
Okay.
Nowadays, for COVID, we cannot serve American breakfast, but we serve breakfast a la carte, and guests can choose if they can have their breakfast in the room without any charge, or in the garden.
Okay.
And this is the deluxe.
Okay, so these are the two interconnecting rooms.
Correct.
Perfect. Do you have lots of families coming to the hotel?
Usually we have couples, but also some families, but the most couples.
Okay. There's another question from Suzanne. Can all the beds be separated into two twins?
Yes, all beds can be separated into twins.
Perfect.
And we can guests can have a triple room starting from the deluxe.
Okay, so you can add an extra bed from the deluxe.
Correct.
Perfect.
And now we are coming back to
all the way
the reception.
Down.
Yeah.
And you can still see the Grand Canal there. Oh no, that's the
yes.
That's the Grand Canal. I can see
this is the Grand Canal. The white building over there is the gambling building.
Stops.
Yeah, and the Vaporetto stop. Very, very close to our hotel, just 2 minutes by walking.
Okay, perfect. Leanne is asking, so can you have 3 single beds in a room? So you can have the 2 twins plus 1 extra bed?
Yes, absolutely.
From the deluxe, you said?
From the deluxe up onwards.
Okay. Perfect.
And the noble floor.
That's beautiful. Michelle is asking, what's the name of the Vaporetto stop?
San Stai, the same name of the church.
Okay, perfect. So San Stai, great.
From it's the third Vaporetto stop from the train station. The third.
Okay.
The fourth from Piazzale Roma.
Okay, so it's about 15 minutes.
The best way to reach our hotel from Marco Polo Venice Airport is by water taxi in just 15 minutes.
Okay, perfect. So it's very, very close and very convenient.
Yes.
And you have your private dock.
And
so there's no problem.
Remind that the hotel is located at just 5-minute walking to Rialto Bridge and 15 minutes to Summer Square.
Perfect.
But outside of the most crowded parts, here you can enjoy the real Venice.
Yeah, because it's less, less crowded than being in San Marco.
San Marco usually, not now, but usually is too crowded.
Yeah, definitely. Perfect. Thank you so much, Angelica, for this beautiful show around. At least, even if we can't do site inspections now, but it's great.
Yes, I wait for all of you as soon as possible.
Absolutely, absolutely. I haven't been in Venice for I think at least 2 years now, so I have to come back.
Okay, it's time to come back.
Yes, thank you so much, Angelica.
Thank you to all of you, and thank you for your time. Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. If you can just close your video and mute you, then I'll get back sharing my...
I leave the meeting, okay?
It's okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, perfect. So hope you liked the hotel. And now just back for our last very few slides. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. Okay, so when to go to Veneto? Well, the best season are undoubtedly the spring months or September and October, when the weather is mild and ideal for walking and just wandering around. During the summer months, the heat sometimes made the climate in Venice unpleasant, and obviously the crowd make it unpleasant too. But if you're visiting the countryside or the lakes, or I mean, not just Venice itself, then it's absolutely perfect. If you want to visit the mountains, the skiing typical season is from December to the end of March, while the ideal months for summer trips range from July to September, and stays in the seaside resorts are recommended from June to September. And oh, this is not working. Okay, and who is Veneto for? Well, as we have seen, there's lots of things to do for any type of traveler. So a holiday in the Veneto region offers wonderful experience for literally everyone. Families have plenty of activities to enjoy, family-friendly town to explore, and an abundance of natural sights. Couple can find many romantic spots starting with Venice and Verona. Sports lovers have plenty of options to choose from year-round, and the same applies to food and wine lovers. And all of these opportunities are close to one another, make it for a very easy region to explore. And now for my top tips. So if it is your first time in Italy, you definitely need to visit Venice and spend at least 2 or 3 days there, including also a visit to the islands, as we have seen. But if you have already been to Venice plenty of times, then go for the lesser known towns, for Verona, for Padua, which are also lesser crowded. Number 2, definitely pay a visit to some local artisan, whether it is for the glass, we've seen some beautiful glass chandelier in the hotel, or a ceramic factory, or a lace boutique. I mean, you can take glassmaking workshops. So all of these experiences are really, really unique and can be found, well, mainly in this area. Then spend some time wandering around the countryside. Just allow you time to be able to explore the region and enjoy the views and the lush vegetation. Obviously, taste some local delicacies. Better if during a food tour, for example, so that you can learn all about the traditional dishes of the different parts of Veneto. And then, well, if you have time, why not include in your visit a stop in one of the thermal towns to enjoy some relaxing time in the thermal spa, and maybe a massage or a treatment, Italian style. And this is the end. So thank you again for connecting. Thank you for joining our webinar today. It's been a pleasure, as usual, to see you all. Next time, we're going to explore the Amalfi Coast. This is something that many of you have asked for. And obviously, we're going to talk about the Positano, Amalfi, Sorrento, the most popular destination, but also the little villages, the less known villages, where you can have amazing experience, and maybe they're a little bit more off the beaten path. It's going to be the 4th of August, and then we're going to have the break for the summer. I'm actually going on holiday for a week if my plane doesn't get cancelled, but I'll talk to you about it next time. Thank you so much, Leslie. It's been really a pleasure. Here you have all our details, all our ways to get in touch with us. Any questions, anything that we can do for you, even if it is just some recommendation or some suggestion on where to send your clients next year. I mean, I know that it's still difficult to think about traveling, but we are starting to see inquiries coming in again for 2021 or for the end of 2020. So if you have any question, please do get in touch. Thank you very much. I hope to see you next time, and have a lovely evening. Bye.